Hi guys, and welcome back to the Groove Grid. My name's Dave, and this is episode number 2 of the progression series. In this video I'm going to be figuring out the chord progression to Big Poppa by the Notorious B.I.G. I'm going to break down the chords and the chord progression. Hopefully this will trigger some ideas that you can use in your own beats and your own tracks. This song was released as the second single from his first studio album called Ready to Die. The music is sampled from a song called Between the Sheets by the Isley Brothers. I'm going to break it down so you can try and make your own ideas from this chord progression. Okay, so, right, let's start with the key. So we're in the key of F major. And essentially, the bare bones of this track is just a 1 chord going to the 3 chord. So the 1 chord in F major is F major, and the 3 chord is A minor. So F, G, A, the third is a minor chord, so F to A minor. That's essentially the bare bones of this progression. Now, we make it a little bit jazzier by turning those into 7th chords. So the F major becomes an F major 7. And the A minor becomes an A minor 7. And you can voice these however you want to. You know, they're always going to sound nice. The chords are still the same, just in different places. So that you could use as the basis of a beat and a groove anyway. So it sounds really nice. Now what they're doing in this song is they're adding in some passing chords. So let's go through some of these passing chords and some options you've got and what they're actually doing. So the first passing chord is what we call a secondary dominant. So we're going from F major to A minor. So we need to find the secondary dominant. Now all the secondary dominant is we're borrowing a chord from another key to help us transition between chords. This can work between any 2 chords and it sounds great. It's a lovely trick to have, and technically you're not staying in key, you're actually going into a different key, but it still sounds good. It doesn't have that weird sound that sometimes changing key has. It sounds really natural and really good, really cool sound. So to find the second dominant, we need to find the 5th of the chord you're going to. In this situation, we are going from F to A. So we need to find the 5th of A. So A, B, C, D, E. So E, that's 5 notes from A. Now if we were staying diatonic, meaning that we were going to stay in the key of F major for this, the E would be a diminished chord. But we want to make the E into a dominant chord, which is why it's called a secondary dominant. So all I'm going to do is play an E dominant 7th chord before going to A minor. And you'll find that that chord just pulls you in to the chord you're going to. So we start off with F major 7, E dominant 7, and that leads you into A minor. It's a lovely change, and like I say, you can do it for any chord progression and any 2 chords. You can link them together with a secondary dominant and it sounds great. Now if that's a bit confusing then, but you like the sound of it and you want to use it in one of your beats, you could always just Google what is a 5th above whatever you're going to. So say that example I said before, if I was on A minor and I want to go to E minor, all I need to do is find the 5th of E, because that's where I'm going to, which is B, E, F, G, A, B, and I could use a B dominant 7th chord to get me to E minor. So let's see how that sounds, just for the sake of it. Sounds really good. It's got a really cool sound. So that's what they're doing on the first chord change. Now the change going from this A minor, going back to the F major, it's another similar idea, and it's a bit of a jazzy kind of a thing, and it's called a 2-5. So 2-5, and you can do this with any key, you can do this to any chord. It just so happens in this example, in this song, we're going back to the 1 chord. So we could call this a 2-5-1. So we are now going to take the 2 chord from F, because that's the chord we're going to, so F, G, which is the 2 chord. Now we make that into a minor chord, so we're going G minor, G minor 7 I'm playing, and then we're going to the 5 chord, so F, G, A, B, C. And this one we can make into a dominant chord, just like we did before with the other one, the secondary dominant. So now we've got a G minor 7, to a C dominant, back to the F. You see, it sounds quite jazzy, and it's a really common jazz trick. So what we've got there now is we've got an F major chord, F major 7, to an E dominant 7, to an A minor 7, to a G minor 7, and then there's a quick change to that C 7 chord. I'm actually playing a C9 because I just really like the sound of that, and then that leads you back to the F major 7. So let's play that up to speed. So you see, we've turned this 2 chord progression into something a lot more. There's a lot more going on, there's a lot more movement between the chords, and it just jazzes it up and makes it sound smoother. Now the only other thing that they're adding in to this progression is between the A minor and the G minor, they're adding a chromatic movement where they just go down 1 fret at a time until they get to that chord. So it's that's all they're doing there, is just adding a little chromatic move into it. There is another thing going on here with this B diminished chord, but I think there's plenty there to get your teeth into and to hopefully inspire some ideas for some beats. And obviously there's that little riff, which if you want to know, it's just a B, A, B, C, D. But that's everything in the chord progression that we need to know about to hopefully inspire us to make some chord progressions of our own. We're going to move over to the computer in just a second. Are there any songs that you want to see me cover in this series? If there are, then leave suggestions in the comment section below. If you are liking this series, please let me know by hitting the subscribe button and liking the video. Okay, so we're in my Pro Tools session now, so I'm wanting to make a chord progression in the style of this Notorious B.I.G. track. I'm not going to take it exactly because I don't want to just make a remake of it. I want to make my own chord progression. So I'm going to alter it slightly here and there, but I still want to use a secondary dominant and I want to use a 2-5 trick. So to get between chords. So I'm going for 90 BPM, so it's a nice steady pace, not too fast. I'm changing key to the key of D major. And now instead of going from the 1 chord to the 3 chord, which would be D major to D, E, F sharp minor, because I think that would sound too much like the Biggie song. I'm wanting to change that, so I'm wanting to make it a little bit different. So instead of doing the 1 to 3 chord, I'm doing 1 to 6. So D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. If you know your scales, then you can work that out on your fingers. If not, just put it into Google, you'll find the answers. So I'm going from a D major chord to a B minor chord. I'll just show you what that sounds like. I'll just take off this major 7. Right, so this is the D major to the B minor change. It's a nice cadence. It sounds really good. You see, it's a really strong sound. It's a really nice sound. So that's the bare bones of the chord progression that I'm starting with. So what I've decided to do is I've decided to stay on the 1 chord, the D major 7 chord, for 1.5 bars. And then I'm going to use the secondary dominant to get to the B minor. So I'm going to B minor, so I need to find the 5th of B, which is F sharp. So I've found the F sharp, and all I'm going to do is make that into a dominant 7th chord. Let's see how that sounds. F sharp, dominant 7. In fact, I'll just play the full thing up to there. So we've got D major 7 for 1.5 bars, F sharp, dominant 7th, which will lead into that B minor 7 chord. So let's hear how that sounds. See, so straight away it's got a nice smooth sound. Now to get the chord progression back to the D major 7, so back to the beginning to loop it, I'm going to use that 2-5 idea to go to a 2-5-1, so back to the 1 chord. So in D major, the 2 chord is E, E minor, and the 5 chord is A, so A7. So to get back to D major, I'm putting in an E minor to an A7, and that's going to lead me back to that D major 7 really nicely. So let's hear this as a loop and see what it sounds like. So it's got a nice jazzy, smooth flavour. So I'm going to add a drum groove to that. Oops, have I done that? There we go. Hopefully that's sorted that. So I'm going to add a drum groove to that. And a bass line. And that's a nice start to a tune. I hope this inspires you to make some Biggie sounding beats. If you use these ideas and you want to share the beats that you've made, then please feel free to leave links in the comment section below so we can check them out. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.